And it's time to get you caught up on some other stories catching our attention this morning. Saving wildlife. Sheriff's deputies from Wisconsin rescuing several ducklings from a sewer this week. One of them actually climbing underground to retrieve those tiny ducks. Meanwhile, out in California, a fast-moving wildfire near Yosemite National Park jumping the road and now threatening nearby buildings. Crews not yet able to establish any kind of containment. Strong winds and low humidity said to be major factors as flames spread. And a wind turbine catching fire, reportedly after a lightning strike. Check this out here. That turbine spinning at the time, sending circles of smoke through the air. Turbine blades engulfed in flames, falling to the ground. And kids getting some relief from the heat, getting sprayed by fire trucks in Vermont, where the mercury hit 100 degrees yesterday. That's a fun way to cool off right there, Katrina, Carl.
What's that going to do to our maple syrup supply?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Good question.
That's not good. They
Not
need
good
that.
for pancakes.
No, they need that. Yeah. If you love pancakes, we need you to speak out against the hot weather.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll do it. I'll do it. All right. Amanda, thank you so much. All right. You might not be surprised to hear this, but cancel culture strikes again. And our next guest shares his personal story in his new book. For more, we have Professor Emeritus at Harvard Law School and author of the book, The Price of Principle, Why Integrity is Worth the Consequences, and host of The Dersh Show, Alan Dershowitz. Good morning, Alan.
Good morning.
All right. I just want to dive in because your story of how you have been canceled in a community where you have been for decades, even though you are open about being liberal from your political standpoint, but simply because you did work with President Trump, you've been nixed. Tell us about that.
Well, I defended the Constitution on behalf of all Americans and on behalf of President Trump. And the people of Chilmark, not only Chilmark, but in other parts of the Northeast, have canceled my appearances. Now, I'm not the victim here. I can speak on Newsmax, and people will listen to me.
We're happy to have you here.
on Martha's Vineyard who can't hear me, the people in libraries who can't read my books, the people who would like to have access to what my opinions, they've been cut off by people in a censorial mode, in the type of action that was McCarthyism. They don't like who I represented. And as a result of not liking who I represented and what I represented, they were prepared to end 40 years of friendship. Well, that's okay. You can pick your own friends. But they were prepared to stop other people who want to hear me speak from listening to what I have to say. And that's McCarthyism, and that's wrong, and that's what I'm fighting against in my book, The Price of Principle. I'm paying a high price. My family is paying a high price. Yeah. But it's worth it because I've kept my integrity.
Yeah. Well, Professor, I want to get your take on this. This is another thing. Obviously, we have you on here to talk about a lot of constitutional things, which we value your opinion on. The ATF, okay, they were recently caught in one of these door cam video things. They were going door to door in Delaware, seemingly. And here's the video right now. And basically they're like, hey, we have a record that you bought these 2 firearms. We need to confirm that you still own them because of recent straw purchases in the area. If this, I would have slammed the door in their face and said, pound sand. What is the legal issue here? Because, I mean, this is like a massive Fourth Amendment violation, is it not?
The right of the people to be secure in their houses, against unreasonable searches, says the Fourth Amendment. And when a policeman comes to your door, that's intimidation. That's a search. That's coercion. And what you say to them is, show me your warrant. Show me your probable cause. If you ask me politely a question as an ordinary citizen, I'm happy to answer. But you're under no obligation to respond to questions that are not based either on a warrant or probable cause, except if there are extraordinary, immediate circumstances.
They wouldn't leave.
Yeah.
They wouldn't leave.
Well, they have to leave. And, you call your lawyer and make sure that they leave, and you take their names. Don't lie to them. That would be a crime. Don't try to threaten them or intimidate them. That would be a crime. You can remain silent. You can call your lawyer, or you can say politely, I really don't want you in my house, and I'd like you to leave. Not only is that the Fourth Amendment, the Third Amendment, which nobody even knows, which prohibits the quartering of troops in your home, suggests that thought the home was your castle. You're entitled to decide who comes in and who doesn't come in. You can cancel people from coming into your home. That's not a
There we go. It all comes around. All comes around. All right. Before we run out of time, Alan, I do want to get your thoughts on Steve Bannon. As you predicted, he was found guilty of contempt of Congress for not appearing to a subpoena from the January 6th committee. You also said that, you know what, he's going to appeal it, and you think that will actually overturn that verdict that was just made. Give us a quick synopsis of that. I'm going to give you, like, I don't know, 25 seconds.
Yeah, there was never a chance he could be acquitted for two reasons. First, the District of Columbia, 90% of the people hate Trump or anybody who worked with him. Number two, the judge took away all of his defenses. His defense was, I believed that I had an obligation not to speak to the committee because of executive privilege. He may have been right, he may have been wrong. But the Congress should have gone to the courts first and get an order from a court, and then he would have been properly prosecuted. But to go immediately to prosecution is Alice in Wonderland justice. Trial first, and then the evidence comes later. So I think he has a good shot at getting this reversed, if not at the Court of Appeals, at the Supreme Court level. This case is far from over.
All right. Alan Dershowitz, we appreciate your integrity and congrats on the new book.
Thank you.
Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, where real news for real people.